All right, good morning, class. I am Sergeant Camilo, and today I'll be giving the block of instructions on determining the coordinate utilizing and on a military map. As you can see behind me, I do have the Deliberate Risk Assessment Worksheet, the DD Form 2977, which is right here, as well as the outline for today. The task will be to, like I said, determine the coordinate on a military map. The condition for today, you are a member of a squad or a team in a field environment, have been directed to identify the grid coordinates of a point on a map. You have a 1 to 50,000 scale military map, a coordinate scale protractor, a pencil, and paper. And each and every single one of you all have these items in front of you. You do have paper, pen, protractor, and a military map in front of you. Right? So, and you have already been given the point as well, point alpha, point A. All right. So for the standard, determine the 6-digit grid coordinates of the point identified on the map by finding the coordinates of the grid square where the point is located and the 4-digit grid coordinates of the point with and without a protractor, right? So, before we get started, I do want to brief the overall risk assessment for today. Obviously, the overall risk assessment for today is low. We are indoors, all right? So just kind of beware of some tripping hazards. Beware of maybe personal items that may be on the ground that you may can stumble over. So watch your step, maintain your balance. As well as we will be utilizing a protractor. So beware of these corners. They can be a little sharp. So just beware of that, right? We're all grown adults. So just risk assessment for today is low. So first, going to start off by demonstrating the task on hand to determine the coordinate on a military map. So, all right. So let me show you how I did that. Right. First, you're going to actually find the point that you're looking for, and in this case, we are looking for point alpha. Right. The point that we're looking for is point alpha. Right, which is right here. Right. So now you're going to determine the grid square that point alpha is located, right? And how you do that is you're always going to read from the southwest corner, or in other words, the bottom left-hand corner, right? So you're going to find the point alpha. We found that. So now you're going to find the vertical line that precedes to the point, right? Which will be 11. So that's, you're going to, because what we're doing right now, we're looking for our first, second, and fourth and fifth grid digits, right? So that's how you get a 4-digit grid coordinate, right? So again, that's what we're trying to look for right now, so we can determine the 1,000-meter grid square that we're utilizing. So, all right, so we found our first one. Our first two numbers is 11 because we identified the vertical line that's proceeding to the point. Now you're going to find the horizontal line that precedes to point alpha, which is going to be 81. And now you have located the fourth and fifth grid coordinate number, which again is your, with the 4 digits, that's you locating your 1,000-meter square grid, right? So obviously the more numbers, the more precise you are, the more precision it gets, right? But again, you're always going to, just a reminder, because a lot of people get this messed up, you're always going to read and start from the southwest corner, the bottom left-hand corner, right? So Remember that. If you don't remember anything else, just remember that, because if not, you're going to jack some things up, right? And I want to make sure the goal for today is to train to standard with 0 errors. So I want to make sure you guys got this before we head out here, right? Because the goal for today would be to get a T for task proficiency, which should be trained, so we can send that up to leadership so they know that we're all trained, right? So that's how you determine a 4-digit grid number, right? So far, on your papers, we only have four digits, right? Now we're going to go into how you find a 6-digit coordinate without a protractor, right? So go ahead, allocate the grid to a 10 by 10 grid, right? So these ticks, right? Each one of them equals 100 meters. That's what it indicates, right? So it's already broken up into 10. So point alpha is midway on this horizontal line, right? You're always going to read from the right and up, right? That's another thing. That's another thing that's really important to remember. You're always going to start from the southwest corner and read to the right, and up, always, okay? So to get because what we're looking for now is our 3rd and our 6th digits, right? To complete our 6-digit grid coordinate. All right, so this is the 5th. This is the 3rd one that we're looking for right now. So again, you're going to start from the southwest corner. You're going to go to the read right, which is going to be your 5. And then you're going to read up, which is going to be your 3, right? And that is how you find a 6-digit grid coordinate without a protractor, right? Now I'm going to show you how I found a 6-digit grid coordinate with a protractor, right? So every single one of you guys have this in front of you. You have a protractor. On the protractor, there's two different scales. You want to make sure, based off the standard and the based off the condition. My apologies, as I was. Based off the conditions, we're utilizing the 1 at 50,000 meters square meters scale. So, but the other one that you could use, but which we're not using, is the 1 at 25,000 meter scale. Right, but again, we are utilizing the 1 and 50,000 meter square meters. I keep saying square, but meter scale. That's it, right? They both start with an S, so it's all as well, right? So for this, for the purpose of this exercise and this class, I have actually drawn out my own protractor, right? So yeah, it's funny. Yeah, you can laugh, Johnson, right? But so. It's not drawn exactly to scale, but just for the purpose so you guys can orientate yourself and know how to actually utilize the protractor in regards to the actual grid square. Just for the sake of that, I just drawn this out, right? So this is how you find a 6-digit grid coordinate utilizing a protractor, right? So your zeros, you're always going to line those up, again, southwest corner, right? That's where you start. You're going to line up your zeros to the southwest corner, and you're always going to read to the right and up. So that means you're going to drag your protractor to the right first, right? And then that 100-meter mark that lands on that horizontal line, you're going to mark, which is your 5. And then you're going to read up. And then obviously that that 6th digit is going to be 3, right? So that is how you determine a 6-digit grid coordinate utilizing a protractor, right? So now you have for your 6-digit 115813, right? That is your 6-digit grid coordinate. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give you all about 15 to 20 minutes to practice this on your own, or maybe with your peers, right? And I'm actually going to be walking around observing. If you guys have any questions, I'll help out with any type of mistakes or anything like that. Because I want to make sure you guys are good to go on this, because there will be an assessment, a 3-question assessment that you will need to pass in order to receive a T for task proficiency. Again, a T is for train. For task proficiency, you need to pass this block of instruction. So that way we can send that up to leadership and make sure, and so that they know that everyone is T and trained to go. Right, so go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna go ahead and observe. And if you have any questions, just let me know. All right, so I have walked around. I have, provided any critical information that to those soldiers who had any questions in regards to that. So now, obviously, you have all the materials you need. We will go ahead into the assessment. I will read off these questions. And again, anybody that fails to pass, you will be retrained and reassessed. And that way your task proficiency will be a T for train. Right? So the first question is, determine the 4-digit grid square of point alpha, right? Of the given point alpha, right? Too easy. Again, first question is determine the 4-digit grid square of point alpha. Second question, determine the 6-digit grid coordinate without a protractor. Again, question 2 is finding the 6-digit grid coordinate without a protractor. All right, and the last question is determine the 6-digit grid coordinate with a protractor. Again, question 2 is without a protractor. Question 3 is with a protractor. All right, so I'm gonna let you go ahead and get working on that. I'll give you about 15-20 minutes to go ahead and get all your answers, and I'll come around and collect all the results and go ahead and give you your task proficiencies. All right, so I have went around and collected all of your sheets, and I have graded all of your assessments, and everybody is a go. Everybody is T in regards to task proficiency. Everybody's trained to go. So nobody needs to be retrained or reevaluated, which is great. You guys are awesome. You guys all got it, right? So, I'll be able to report all these results and assessments up to leadership and my chain of command, so they know that everybody is trained, and T for task proficiency, right? All right. So that concludes my block of instructions. I would ask that everybody please come up and bring your materials. If I can have the pencils be piled over here to the left, and have your maps in the middle and your protractors to the right of the or my right to the of the maps, please. All right. So now we're going to go into an AAR. So what was the intent for today? What was Commander's intent for today? So the intent for the block of instruction was to determine the grid coordinates on the military map. How did we do that? We actually determined the 4 digits first, and then went into determining the 6 digits with and without a protractor, right? So can I get some things that you guys liked about this block of instruction? Some things I can continue doing. Some sustains. All right, perfect. What about some things that maybe can be tweaked, or some dislikes, or maybe some improvements? All right. Have any questions? Anybody have any questions? So if there are no further questions, this concludes my blocks of instructions for determining the grid coordinates on a military map. And please, everybody, police your area before leaving, please. All right. I have taken down all the posts behind me, and I have sanitized my work area. And that concludes my block of instructions on conducting, determining a grid coordinate on a military map for my CIT assessment.